Welcome back to Nick Lenz Comic Corner, classic, lesson known classic. This is number 2540, double number 2434. I have once again a DC kind of book and a Marvel trade. Well, this DC one is actually a manga book. We have Batman Justice Buster Volume 1. It's a manga. Yes, a Batman manga. Which is the first time I've ever reviewed since the Bat manga one that came out in the 60s. That was actually really fun. This book seems like it's set in the same universe as Batman the Justice League. The writers are for this one is Eiichi Setsumiko and Tamakaro Samaguchi. Yep. Mostly put it just following Batman in this book. Now this book is only 6 chapters. Yeah. So, it basically feels like a Batman book. Definitely. Oh, the translator of this book is Sheldon Dorica. So, mostly put, just basically just... Oh, by the way, here's Wayne Enterprise, Wayne Tower, which is so... Looks really good on the black and white artwork. I mean, it feels like basically just a regular day in Batman's life. Just kind of like a Batman style story done by the Japanese, which that's kind of what this book is. It also renames the Batwing to the Batplane to the Justice Buster at the end of the book. Yeah, it also accounts for the Joker in here, who's drawn very weirdly. Because when I think of like Joker, I think of like Clown Prince of Crime. But oh, by the way, in case you're curious, though, what does Batman look like under this artwork? What's a good shot of him? Let's see. I could say this, but no. He looks like he's fighting a version of Firefly, but I think it's an original character for this book. It's almost like his bat armor is kind of like, okay, here's a little more slightly better one. It's almost like it feels like reading this book, it seems like it's taking inspiration from the Batman Arkham games. Kind of. Especially with the bat armor. And this is the Batcave. Like, wow, what a very small bat computer. But nothing really bad about this book per se. It just says the first book. Whether volume 2? Don't know. I give this book roughly a 9 out of 10. It's not bad. I do like it, though, because it's Batman. Next up we have is Star Wars, The High Republic, The Blade. This is the third miniseries under the High Republic line. High Republic, a line of books that nobody asked for. Though this book has something interesting over the main book, per se, for High Republic, because written by Charles Scholl. Because, here's the thing, this is the second miniseries done for High Republic, and I actually did find his first miniseries did better than the main book because that was interesting. The main book was okay. It just seems like the book has no reason to exist. Like, okay, so my biggest complaint is like, what is the purpose of the High Republic? Why not, just do a version of Knights of the Republic video game? Do that or make the game canon. Why do we have to have this? Oh, by the way, there's going to be a sequence book called The Broken Blade. The whole thing about this one is about a lightsaber. Of course, Charles Scholl is writing. The first 3 issues are mostly done by Marco Casillo, though so issue 2 is done by Jeremy Morales. That's pretty much the rest of the series. Now, there's only 4 issues. Yeah, it's a relatively short series. They do have where the High Republic is set before the 3 main movies, including The Clone Wars, Reign of Empire, which is Bad Batch, the series Solo and Obi-Wan Kenobi, Age of Rebellion, which is Rebels, Andor, Rogue One, and the trilogy, New Republic, Book Boba Fett and the Mandalorian, First Order, The Resistance, and the trilogy. Yeah, they have this and all the High Republic books, but not in the other books for some reason. I don't know why. It's weird. Yeah, mostly put basically it's about this one guy named Porter Eagle. We follow him through this whole book, and we do see a familiar character in this book. I'm like, finally! a familiar character. We follow him this whole. It's like a whole adventure story involving him and stuff involving him, the Jedi. But you're thinking, who's the familiar character from this time period in this book? Why, it's, of all people, Yoda! Yep. We just follow him this whole book, and that's pretty much it. Not really much else to say about this book. I do agree, it's entertaining. It's a good book. I do find it interesting, though, that Charles Shaw just doesn't want to do the High Republic books because he's doing main Star Wars. Because I found this book more, like I mentioned before, the Charles Shaw High Republic books are more interesting than the main book. You find it like, really? The Charles Shaw ones is better? Yes. Which, someone asking, why is he not writing the main High Republic books? There's a good reason for that, because he's writing Star Wars. And he probably does these mini-series because he probably doesn't have time to work on 2 series under the same banner at the same time. I mean, the thing with Charles Shaw is, ever since it came to Marvel, I think it was back in 2015, I think it was, the man has been hitting hit after hit after hit out of the park. Books like She-Hulk, the Star Wars book, obviously, Inhumans. His Inhuman books are fantastic. I love his Inhuman books that he's done. Like, there's Inhuman, Uncanny Inhumans. He did start doing all Inhumans for basically having James almost cap off the series. And I met this kind of person. Very nice, going to be person. Oh yeah, there's also his critical acclaim run for Daredevil, which I thought was really good. He did one for Thunderbolts. He did Death Wolverine, Death Wolverine Logan Legacy, the Weapon X program, Wolverines, which a story that still wasn't finished. Yeah, I don't know why it wasn't finished, but it just wasn't. Inhumans and Low Rising. So for Secret Wars, the Lando book, which I think this was his. I believe this was his first or second Star. I think it was his very first Star Wars miniseries work because he also worked on Obi-Wan Anakin. Yeah, Lando was his first one he worked on. Of course, worked on All Inhumans, Daredevil, Obi-Wan Anakin, Daredevil / Punisher 7 Circle miniseries, Poe Dameron, which that was his first ongoing one he worked on. Here's other books he worked on: The Death of X, Inhumans vs. X-Men, a book that was not really asked for, and Tivia, my friend Tivia, put this book as one of his worst books of 2016, which, yeah, but let something really good afterwards. Of course, that previous one for Darth Vader, that run for Sonic the X-Men, which was really good, and he has done, since he took over Star Wars, he has done, before he did the main Star Wars book, he actually has started the Rise of Color miniseries, which is really good. I reviewed it. I actually gave it away at a mixer. Of course, he did the War Bounty Hunters, Crimson Reign. He also hit an Empire, and basically a lot. Like, he does a lot of Star Wars miniseries. He's done like 4 or 5 right now. He's only done 2 ongoing. So, in case you're curious, though, he's only working on 1 ongoing series in Marvel. Yeah, just 1, and that's just the main Star Wars book. Now, the main book that started his career, which was Letter 44. Some of you might be thinking, is he still working on the book? No, the book ended a few years ago. He's also wrote some novels. Yes, he has wrote novels. He wrote the book that kind of started off this era, which I have not actually read this book. And a friend of mine, one of my coworkers, actually read this book already. He didn't get his opinion on it, but he wrote the first book of Star Wars, The High Republic, The Light of the Jedi. Yeah, he wrote this book. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't know if he did the other one. Let's see. Into Dark. No, Into Dark is done by Claudio Gray. That's the flaw of this one. The other books are The Rising Storm, which that's done by Calvin Scott. The guy who writes the main Star Wars, the main book for High Republic, and Claudio Gray does the following book. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's interesting though. Calvin Scott, the guy who writes, he was the main writer for High Republic, but it's kind of weird though. Oh, and then they're in phases. Right now, we're in phase 3. Yes, seriously, we're in phase 3. Yeah, and I kind of wish basically that Marvel would just end High Republic because it is not exactly something people have been asking for. Because I would love to meet somebody who actually kind of likes the Hyperbolic stuff. I mean, I only Hyperbolic stuff I like is the Charles Show stuff because I think the main book is just okay. It's not like out of the park per se. Yeah. But yeah, this is pretty much a particular review. Next up is going to be 3 straight manga reviews. One Piece, My Hero Academia, and Black Clover. Next video. Bye.